Y'all, I think these lips are giving me Tyrone Bigham vibes, okay? Is it? Hold on real quick. Hey everyone, I am your fave nurse B. Today I want to talk about agency nursing. What is it? All that jazz, right? Because some people are like, what do you do? You're an agency nurse. I don't get it. What are the benefits? Why should you do it? The pros and the cons and all of that. So first off, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and go check out this playlist that I have talking about agency nursing. I have more in-depth videos going over a lot of what I'm talking about in this video. This is just like a little, I don't know, introductory thing type of thing. We need something on the neck. Hold on. So this is just like a more introductory type of video. So what is agency nursing? So first off, if you are an agency nurse, you are an employee of the agency. So what that means is, if you ever heard of like temps or staffing firms and things like that, what it is you are a temporary employee, so to speak. So for example, the agency is the middle person between the facility that needs help and the nurses who need to be linked up with facilities that need help. So the agency is just the middleman or middle woman, middle person. So the agency will then be, the nurse will go to the agency and see, okay, what shifts are available for me to work at what facilities, how much are they paying, yada, yada, yada. That nurse or that CNA will decide, okay, I want to work at this place on this day, get paid this much. Great. The agency, the facility is the ones that put up the shifts and all that jazz. So the staffing firm, the agency, is only there to be the middle person between those two. The way you get paid is from that staffing agency. The nursing home, the hospital, whomever pays the staffing agency. The staffing agency pays you as the nurse or the CNA. That's how it works. Now, some agencies are different. Some agencies, they will call a facility for you and be like, hey, do you all still need help at this time? Da, 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 da. Some agencies, if you need to, like, say, for instance, tonight, I'm looking to pick up an evening shift. I just requested the shift, and I'm like, dang, I want them to, like, go ahead and approve my shift for me so I can go ahead and know I'm going to go to work. Some facilities, some staffing firms I can call them. They'll be like, let me call the facility and see if they need you. But this facility, the staffing firm that I work for, they're like, no, you call the facility and you got to keep hassling them, trying to get through to somebody to see if they need you and go that way. So staffing agencies are completely different. Some have great customer service. Some have better pay. Some have different ways that they pay you, which I'll talk about that a little bit more. So that's what it is. It's basically a middle person, a middle company that's supposed to bridge the gap between facilities and nurses or CNAs or other people, who decide to do staffing. So they have staffing for all different industries, but that's how that works in nursing. Now, as far as the pay, typically as a pro, I would say typically you make more money as a staff or agency nurse as an agency nurse compared to a staff nurse, meaning a nurse that actually works at a facility and that's getting paid from that facility, an employee of that facility. Typically, it just depends on, because sometimes they have bonuses that they want to give you. Sometimes you'll get a little bit more per shift. Sometimes they'll be doing, shift differentials. You get paid a little bit more because of that. But typically, you as a nurse or as a CNA, you'll get paid more than the staff nurses that are there at that moment. For the most part, it just really depends. So that's one of the pros. You get paid more money. Another pro to being an agency nurse or agency CNA is the flexibility. So if I didn't want to work today, I'm not working today. I don't have my boss calling me like, why are you not coming to work? No, if I don't want to work, I'm not going to work. If I want to pick up a shift, I can pick up a shift at any time during the day, as long as it's available. And some agencies have it where you can negotiate how much you're going to get paid. So the shift I was looking at today is about $40, but I was like, I want to get paid $42. So I just went ahead and put in for $42. So it's up to the facility to accept that offer that I put in. So it just all depends. And that's that. That's one of the pros, is more pay and more flexibility. That's typically why people do staffing nursing or agency nursing versus being a staff nurse. Also, one of the pros is that you don't deal with the BS of that facility. If you don't like that facility, you never have to go back. So I get a question a lot of the times like, so they sent you here? No, the staffing agency does not send you places. It's not like, oh, you're a nurse, we need you here, you have to go work this shift. No, you as the nurse or the CNA, you still have control over where you decide to work and which shift you decide to work. okay? And you don't have to go back to a facility if you don't want to go back there. That's pretty much what it is. Now, some of the cons to it is, I get a lot of questions. Can you get benefits? So 401k, insurance, vacation time, things like that. That's not offered as a staff nurse. I mean, as an agency nurse. It's just not offered to you. Now, I have heard of some agencies that offer it if you basically work a full-time shift, 40 hours a week with that particular staffing agency. If you work a full-time 40 hours a week for a whole year, then you can start to get benefits. But even there, there's some, some stipulations, of course. So typically you do not have benefits with that staffing agency, because that's the whole reason why they're able to pay you more money, is because honestly, you're like an independent contractor. You're not an employee. Especially there's some agencies that don't even take out taxes. You get a 1099 at the end of the year. You have to pay your own taxes because you're considered self-employed, which that's another video. It is. But there's ways around figuring out how much you have to pay, and you can pay, quarterly to IRS to make sure you don't have that big chunk of money that you have to pay at the end of the year because it didn't take out your taxes. So always keep that in mind too. But some agencies do take out taxes. So that's one of the cons. Another con is that you don't have that continuity of care. So, say you do like a facility, they might only have an opening, one time out of the week. You're not able to keep going to that facility because you're not, they may not have the need for you. Another con is that some facilities just don't have any hours. You go to an agency and there's just no hours available. That's why as an agency nurse, it's always important to be working for more than one agency. And you ain't got to tell them your business, okay? Y'all get what I'm saying? Work for more than one agency so that way you can have your options open. The next thing I want to talk about is pay. So some agencies, they will pay you through a card. So you get basically a debit card, and the money is uploaded to that card. That's how you get paid. And then the only thing with that is there's fees usually associated. So there's a fee that's associated with loading the money on there. There's a fee associated every time you use it. There's a fee when you want to take the money off that card and transfer it to your bank. And then there's like 3 to 5 days you got to wait. It all changes with different agencies. Some agencies have it where you get paid that same day that you work. So say you work a day shift, you put in your time sheet, you get off at 3, by 5:30 your money is on your card. That's great. Money fast. You get your money real fast. Some places have it like that. One agency that I work for, honey, you ain't getting that money for a whole week. For a whole week. So say for instance, I picked up today. Today is Thursday. I won't be getting paid until next Friday unless I decide to pay a $25 fee to get my money the next day. And sometimes it's like you have to have a processing day. And then if it's the weekend, then you really won't get paid till Monday. So say today I worked a shift and I want to get my money, the next day. They don't count that Tuesday they don't count Thursday as the day. Friday is your processing day. And then they don't do business on Saturday or Sunday. So I won't even get paid for until Monday, even though I just paid $25 to get my check earlier. But it beats waiting until Friday. So there's different places, different facilities or different agencies have different ways of paying you, and they could be seen as a pro or a con, because some people, they don't do well with getting their money fast. They just don't. They need to wait a little bit, let their money build up, and get their money every 2 weeks or every week. If that's you, then some places have it where there's an option to get a pay card. There's an option for you to get it directly to your bank account. And some agencies have it where you can only get it to a pay card, or you can only get it to your bank account. So there's a lot of different places out there, a lot of different options. So it's up to you to do your research, talk to other people in your facility, talk to other people in your area. So going back to talking about the pay, some agencies have a base pay. They will not go lower than that base pay. So one of my agencies that I work with, they have a base pay for LPNs. They are not going lower than that irregardless. They do not go lower than that. Now, there might be instances where they really need a nurse. So that facility is like, hey, we need a nurse to come in within the next hour. We'll give that nurse an extra $4 or $6 to come in. That'll be that. Or you'll have a base pay somewhere and they'll say, hey, we really need nurses because we got, blank vid on our in our facility. We'll pay hazard pay. We'll pay extra $10 per hour to get some nurses in here to do this hazard pay or premium pay. Bet. So there's always, fluctuation of pay. I've even had it where, like I said, I work for 3 different agencies. One agency will have a shift for $26 an hour. The other agency will have that same exact shift, that same exact facility for $30 an hour. That's why it's always good to keep your options open. Okay? So the moral of the story is to do your research. Just try it. If you are a staff nurse and you're like, I need to make a little bit more money. My thing is, when I was working in a facility, I was just like, why would I go somewhere else as an agency nurse when I can get time and a half here and I'm still making good money? The thing with that is you have to realize they take out more taxes out of your money. The more you make, the more taxes. So you might be pushing yourself into a different tax bracket. So you might be thinking, okay, I'll pick up this shift and make an extra, I don't know, $200, $250 per shift. But after everything, after the dust settles, they take out all that money. You only making $180 per shift. Versus if you went to the agency, you could have made $220, $250. So it just depends. And you could have gotten your money sooner. So there's always, some things that you can do if you're a staff nurse and you want to go out there and do some agency work. It may be beneficial to you if you want to get your money faster, or if you're just tired of working at your facility. Doing overtime at the same place, 16-hour shifts back to back, or extra 12-hour shift back to back at one facility can really burn you out. It might be, yeah, you want to make that more money, but go somewhere else and get that little, refresher away from your job that you do all the time. And that may be what you need to just feel a little bit better and not get so burnt out. I do want to say this. I have heard, I don't know the validity of it. If you are if you're an agency nurse and say you go to a facility and that facility wants you to work for them, that facility has to buy you out of your contract with that agency. I've heard that. I don't know. I've only heard it from like one person. Well, it was 2 people. They agreed upon, like, yes, they got to buy you out. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So they were like, oh yeah, in order for you, because here's the thing. One of the people at the job was like, you should come work here. Like, you should be a nurse here full time. I said, they can't afford me, honey. They cannot afford me to work here full time because they're not going to pay me the same rates that agency pays me. I don't want to be up in here full time getting no, I'm not doing that. And yeah, the other agency nurse was like, yeah, they can't afford it, especially they don't want to pay that. I think she said it was $4,000 or $6,000, $4,000 to $6,000 to buy you out of that contract, so that you can then become, a regular floor nurse at that facility. That money don't go to me; it goes to the agency. So keep that in mind when you're working places. But yeah, that's what agency nursing is. Another big con is that when you walk into a facility, you may or may not get orientation. So they say, hey, you're going to work at such and such nursing home, you're going to work at such and such hospital today. You can go in and not even know the computer system. You're not getting orientation. You're not. You can just, the whole shift you're asking questions, trying to figure out how to give somebody some Tylenol because there's no orientation typically. You're just supposed to just go in there and figure it out. Get in where you fit in, nurse. Get in where you fit in, CNA. That's typically, or CMT. That's typically how it is. It's a big con. Because people have this anxiety. Oh my gosh, like, I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to do this. But I feel like a nurse is a nurse. I'm always up for the challenge. I see it as a confidence boost, being able to go into a facility not knowing anyone, not knowing the computer system, not knowing the policies and procedures, and just getting in and doing what I have to do for my patients. I see that as like a little, a little rush, in a way of challenging myself. Some people don't want that. They want the same thing every single day. They don't want no surprises. So it just all depends. I would definitely say just try it and see if it works for you. You can always just do one shift here and there and just kind of see if it works. You might love it. You might fall in love with it. So I hope that video was helpful for you all. If you have any other questions, put them down in the comment section. Also, let me know if you have any video requests. I'm sorry I was all over the place. I just had to get this video out before I work this shift. You need to call me back. Let me know, can I work the shift, girl? Like, do you want me to come in or not? Like, let me know so I can get my money, okay? Otherwise, I can go somewhere else. That'd be my thing. Like, I can go somewhere else, so please let me know if you need me. Sometimes it's like a bummer. Like, you'll pick up a shift and they'll be like, oh, we don't need you. They cancel you. So some agencies will have it where if you pick up a shift and that facility says, yes, we need you, and then here comes a day for you to work, and they're like, oh no, we don't need you, that facility has to pay you for your time, because honestly, that I could have picked up somewhere else. I was blocking off this time to pick up with you. So they have to usually pay you like 2 hours worth of money, 2 hours worth of that shift, or 4 hours of that shift. It just depends. Because what if you got kids and you had this schedule set out and you say, hey, I need somebody to work, you know, somebody to watch my kids for this day. I got my babysitter, and they don't need you. You come out of pocket for that babysitter, and now you can't even pick up a shift nowhere else. That's so nerve-wracking. Or you go up to a place and like, okay, I'm here. They don't even have your name on the schedule. Like, I picked up this shift. Y'all confirmed it. Why am I not on the schedule? Some agencies will have them pay you, or some agencies you don't get any money. I got this agency, they don't pay you nothing if a facility cancels you. They rarely cancel you. I've only had them cancel me once. I never went back to that facility because I was like, oh hell no. It was a day shift too. I got up, got myself together, came up here, and yeah, I got this dang on pandemic going on, honey. I could have went somewhere else. I was so upset. But anyway, but say that you pick up at a shift, you confirm it, the facility confirms it, excuse me, and you decide to cancel. Some agencies will make you pay a fee because they coming out of pocket. They make you pay a fee if you don't go there. Isn't that crazy? That's super crazy to me. But they won't pay you if that facility cancel. Like, what the, like, seriously? What the heck? Anyways, so just keep that in mind. It's always good to be at different facilities. Always good to ask a lot of questions, do your research in your area. Don't be afraid to do it. Like I said, I have other videos talking about specific things, going more into depth. But I just want to do this to kind of give you all an overview of what agency nursing is. You are considered an independent contractor, or you're considered self-employed. You are not an employee of that facility. The facility does not pay you. You are an employee of that staffing agency. And some agencies require you to pick up a certain amount of shifts per month. It just really depends. Some places are like, you got to at least pick up 2 shifts, you know, to stay working here. Sometimes they're a little bit lenient about things. As far as the hiring process, what they'll have you do is, a lot of times these staffing agencies, they're not within your area. So it's all remote. They are in like a office that's like, you know, a state or 2 away from you. Everything is online. So what they'll have you do is they'll do like something called like LPN or RN competency, oh shoot, child, I can't talk, my allergies. They'll have you do competency, y'all know what the heck I'm trying to say, shoot. But they'll have you do like these checklists of, okay, can you do G-tubes, can you do trace, can you do ventilation, can you do that, and you put like, okay, yeah, I can do it, I can somewhat do it, da da da. It's this long list. And then typically they'll have you do something like somewhat like an NCLEX, where you answer like all these questions, you do all these tests, you